Hi friends, this is Gina. Welcome to my channel Hope and Cope. This is where we talk about how we can live our best life by God's grace in spite of the painful and tragic choices that our loved ones are making. So this is part 3 in a series talking about the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, or in my case it was Al-Anon. The steps are identical except for one word. And today we're going to talk about steps 7 through 9. So let's get started. So step 7 is that we humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. So just to review real quickly, in step 4, we made an inventory of everything that has hurt us, and then we discover our part, and then we discuss that with God, with ourselves and another person. And then in step 6, we became ready to have God remove all these defects of character. So now, I think that they give you 2 steps for 6 and 7. We get ready to have God remove our character defects, and then in step 7 we humbly ask Him to. So there is a process. It can be a painful process when we discover sometimes that we played a role. Sometimes we played a really big role and we did not know that before we took our own inventory. We just saw the faults of others and we judged ourselves very graciously because we know our motives, and we always assign kindness to ourselves. I know that's even true for those of us that beat ourselves up a lot. We still don't judge our motives as we should. We still always say, well, I was tired. Well, I was hungry. Well, he did this first. And so we always kind of make excuses for ourselves. Maybe not always, but we tend to. So we've been through a process with 4, 5, and 6. So now at step 7, we are ready to humbly ask God to remove our shortcomings. When we do this, God is faithful. He will work on us and help us to, if we cooperate with Him, He will help us in removing those shortcomings from our lives. It's a lifelong process. We are not going to be perfect. We're going to struggle and fight those old ways all the time, but we are working with God in conjunction with Him to improve on those shortcomings so that our lives can improve, right? So step 8 is we made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. So right now in step 8, we're just making a list, but we are turning the table. We are talking about now the people that we have harmed. So even if we have not ever had that addiction, we're not that person, we have still harmed people. We have still done damage to our loved ones, and we still have amends to make. So these are the same exact steps that our loved ones, if they are in AA or Narcotics Anonymous or any of those programs, they are learning how to make amends, and we as well need to learn how to make amends for our own actions. So I don't know about you, but I don't really love making amends, and so I would rather learn from my faults and try to not make those mistakes. But once I do make those mistakes, which I do all the time, I try to be quick to make the amends and not let things linger. I'd rather make amends and somebody be like, I don't even know what you're talking about, and me just know that I felt like I did that person wrong, or maybe I didn't mean to, but I feel like it came out wrong. I feel like it could have done damage, and I just want to clear the air. I just want to say, I'm sorry. That was not my intentions. Please forgive me. But right now we are going to make a list of the people that we have harmed and get ready. So in step 9, we make direct amends to such people that we have harmed. Okay, we make direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. So I just, I think that's kind of self-explanatory. If you cheated on your best friend and that would break up their marriage. I just don't think that that is the kind of amends you need to make. But that's where that discussing things with God, yourselves, and another human being, someone can go over with you where you could be doing damage and to avoid those amends. But we can't just presume that every amends would cause damage, so we're not going to make any, So we can't use that as a blanket to avoid making amends. But I just suggest you start on the easy ones. There are people that I love desperately, and if I have hurt them, it was never intentional. And it was pretty easy for me to go to my children or my parents or my friends and say, I know through these years I have done things that were insensitive. Or maybe you are thinking about a specific time that you threw somebody under the bus, or a specific time that you know for a fact you were not there for that person and you just mentally couldn't show up and they needed you. Maybe you're going to make an amends for something directly, or maybe you're just going to say, I know that I was detached. I know that I wasn't there for you. It's just going to be different in every single circumstance. But I know that I also tried with some people where it was kind of complicated and muddy. I tried to just say, if you have things that I did that wounded you specifically, and you can think of specific things and you want to talk about them, then let's talk about them. I really want this to be healing for us. But on the same token, you do just have to leave the results to God. I was going to say the Lord. Put that together and you get a to God, whatever I said. But anyway, you just have to leave the results to God and trust Him that you are doing your part. You're doing your best to clean up your side of the street. We had a video in the past about keeping your side of the street swept clean. This is part of that. And just knowing that you are doing your best to correct errors in your own conduct, in your own character, that inadvertently or intentionally, hopefully not intentionally, but inadvertently hurt those that love you the most. So I already said, start with the easy ones, then you're going to move to the harder ones, maybe the ones that you have a very adversarial relationship with, or I know in the AA world, a lot of the people that have to make amends, they have stolen from people, they have cheated people, they have lied about big things to people, and they have to go back and really clean up a lot of stuff. If that's you, just pray to God for the courage to do what you need to do to clean up harmful things that you have done in other people's lives, to try to set something right. And I know we can never undo things to an extent, but if we owe people money, we need to pay it back. If we made promises that we couldn't keep, is there a way to go back and make them or keep them now? I don't know. It's different for everybody. That's why you need that trusted person to talk through these things with. But I just want to encourage you that this is very helpful. When we learn how to be our best self, we are going to make this world a better place. We're going to live more in peace with ourselves and have a lighter heart. And we are bound to make things better in our family situation. So I know this seems like, why are we talking about things that aren't related to my loved one and their addiction? I just want to encourage you, these steps are all so helpful in learning how to live our best life by God's grace, is cleaning up our side of the street, is making amends for things that we have done to harm people, and then being quick to do it. That's going to be in for future steps. So I hope this was helpful. If it is, please like my videos. Please share them with somebody else. If you think that these steps, that this introduction, this just very light overview would be helpful to somebody you know, please share it. I encourage you to get How Al-Anon Works or the Big Book of AA and read it for yourself. These are very valuable tools for recovering from our own personal character flaws. And but until next time, just know I love you and I'm praying for you and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.